Welcome.
Welcome to Breaking the Cycle podcast. My name is Dwayne. Nice to meet you. This show is about healing, growth, and rewriting stories we've inherited from our generation. Now, in today's episode, which is my very first one, we're diving into what generational curses are and how we can start breaking them. All right? So stay with me. All right, so let's talk about it. What generational curses are. You know, curses aren't necessarily, some dramatic thing, always a movie like thing. Sometimes it's as simple as never hearing, I am proud of you. And now you're struggling to validate yourself. I don't know about you, but growing up, I struggle with that. Sometimes it's money trauma, sometimes it's choosing the right partner to fit the chaos we grew up around. And what I know about these curses, they're not necessarily curses in a mystical sense, but they're patterns we've inherited, patterns that can be changed. The big word is change. It's hard to break them sometimes because, comfort in the family, fear of disappointing them, lack of tools and resources that many young people are affected by, emotional triggers, what you hear growing up, what did they tell you you're gonna become, what did dad believe for you? Sometimes that really does shape the trajectory of your life, but you have to recognize it and choose for yourself. And sometimes that plays on the guilt when you grow beyond what your family knew. It can be frightening, but it's important to know. So this is very personal to me because for me, it showed up as how my dad treated my mom, and I realized that I was repeating the same pattern until I stopped to realize I can actually choose differently. I don't have to live my life on autopilot. I can choose for myself. And that's exactly what I did. Growing up, treating women with respect, it seemed as if it was something that made you weak as a man, and I realized it affected my relationships throughout my time of dating, into getting married. I chose differently because I realized it affected a lot of things around me, not just for my mother, but psychologically with my peers. Now, why is it hard to break patterns, especially ones we've seen and it looked so normal to us? Let's talk about it. So we think growth is about strength, but a lot of it is actually about discomfort. Breaking patterns means choosing the unfamiliar, and unfamiliar can feel very unsettling. For generational curses, these can be patterns that is passed down through your family, like the behavior of your family, trauma, silence, and belief. I feel sometimes griefs too. Financial habits are a big one. Emotional responses, parenting styles, and also relationship dynamics. Self-worth narratives are a big deal. And even when the unfamiliar is healthier, it feels scary at first. So let me give you some examples of some actionable steps which you can take, to make it better for yourself. So first, you can start with awareness. Once you recognize the pattern, name the pattern. Pause and reflect and ask yourself this question. Is this me or is it something that I've inherited? Also, seek new knowledge. With this new age of technology, ChatGPT, you can use therapy, you can use a mentor, you can use community, and you can use even a counselor. Practice the opposite behavior of these things that you've now recognized. Even very small steps count. Trust me, they do. And give yourself the permission to grow beyond, your family. It can be hard to do. It can be very demanding because it requires you to now separate yourself from the mass. See what dark truths about yourself and how you can actually attack them. Breaking generational cycle is not one big decision, okay? It's 1,000 tiny ones. You know what I'm saying? The first sign of change is beginning 1,000 steps with just the first one. No, if you can make one thing different, one different choice today, then you were taught you've already begun. So let's now have the conversation about encouragement and empowerment. Just because you were raised in something doesn't mean you've been ruled out by it. You are allowed to build a life, that your parents couldn't imagine and also your family never wanted. So in closing, this is my call to action for you. So thank you for joining me in this very first episode. I really do appreciate you guys. Now, if this spoke to you in any way, I'm asking you to share it with someone who might need to break a cycle too. All right? Now, follow the show, leave a review, and send me your stories or questions, and let's talk about it in the next upcoming episodes. So we're healing together. So follow along on the journey. See you on the next episode.